Good afternoon. Wow, what an amazing amount of information and ideas. It doesn't matter how your customer service organization is structured, there's going to be a lot of customer love going on for the next couple months. I look forward to seeing some of that come to fruition. Quick raise of hands. As I'm in a little different industry. How many people, actually, I'm going to reverse the question. How many people here are not in the enterprise software business? Ooh, whoa, we got a nice good group over here, a couple here. Great. Welcome aboard. Global Capacity is a network service provider. And we do connectivity to the internet, connectivity to the cloud, connectivity to whatever destination you need to get to. In fact, probably many of the applications that you deliver to your customers run over the network that we're providing. So one of the things that we did is about 18 months ago, we acquired a company and got 20,000 brand new medium business customers. And we had no idea who they were and if they were happy. So we said, we have got to do something, and we've got to do something quickly, because for all we know, they're all going to start churning tomorrow, and this is going to be a horrible investment. So we started to say, who is our customer? Let's go there. Who is our customer? Our customer is an internet user. They use connectivity. Connectivity is critical to their business. Not only are they not successful, are their employees not successful, but their business could falter if they lose connectivity. Many of them are using applications over our connectivity and experiencing customer success in these new programs, customer success organizations. So we said we need to do more and learn more about this space immediately. So the first thing we did, we started looking at our major milestones. When they buy, when we install, when there's a service issue. Service issues happen. How do you handle them? How do you get the customer back up? When they're using the service, when they're renewing the service. Pretty straightforward. As we looked at it, though, we began to think and realize we know exactly how our customers feel at these 5 moments in time. What about the next? What about everything else? What's happening in between that service outage? We all know pretty much, and this is a great thing about connectivity, whether it's a business or an enterprise, it pretty much works the same as it does for each one of you when you're working at home and things start slowing down, whether it's your phone, whether it's cable internet, whether it's a T1 or a fiber internet. There's a lot of other moments we all experience before there's an outage, before we pick up the phone. So we said we need to know more. We need to know what's going on in the rest of the time. We could have someone, 2 customers hitting all 5 of these milestones, coming through the same way, and one's unhappy and one's not happy. And one is happy. So we want to look more at that customer. Who is this customer? What are they doing? What are their moments? How do they think of their success? And what are they trying to do in their business? I use an analogy sometime with my team, and it's, our customers are not puppies. Follow with me for a second. They're not trainable. They don't always do what you want them to do. You can guide them with the phone numbers. You can put the right email. You can make it frictionless. But they still may not do what you want them to do. Let's equate a customer a little bit more to a cat. They're going to hide, they're going to wait, they're going to play with you here, they're going to use this service, the next time they're going to use this one. They're going to jump out and yell and hiss and scream, and then they're going to go and run and hide. How do you capture all of this information? And this is what we were really struggling with. How do we capture it across the entire organization? So this isn't a ticket system or a billing system. How do we make sure that any time a customer comes, interacts, talks with us, we are getting information? We needed to do this. We needed to fill in the blanks of that overall mood of the customer and say, how do we know when they're emailing? How do they know when they're experiencing a problem? They're not ready to open a ticket, and they use Siri and say, global capacity, main number, and it's going to give them our corporate number in Chicago. Well, there are 3 finance people and 1 operations person in Chicago. And depending on which Siri or Google system they're tied to, they may actually get the Chicago number, not the 800 number that's going to reroute them over. Now, some of that's us for having managed and acquired 2 or 3 companies, but it happens to you all. You've got different systems, different emails. If there's a legacy phone number out there, if there's an email out there, customers will find it. How do you capture all of that? So we decided we really needed to know that, capture it, and we went real simple. That was the other thing. Which system are we going to put it in? Where are we going to track it? Are we going to put it on an Excel spreadsheet on Kristen's desk? Where does Kristen send it next? The good thing was when they called the main 800 number in Chicago, they got Kristen. Kristen was wonderful for customers to talk to. And Kristen would hand it off to an executive in the company, and they'd always answer the call too. So these customers are getting great service. They're being heard, they're being listened to. But no one else in the company knows what's being said to them. So what we realized, we used a very simple text-based event, date, time, what transpired, how happy they were when they left, whether it was an email complaint, anything anyone in the company could add these into and filter into that success platform. They became events we could begin to look at and track and look at how they interact with major events. And we saw some really interesting things. One of the things we saw was that 33% of the calls that turned into major issues, that turned into outages, had some sort of earlier phone call or complaint that hit the company before they opened a ticket. Now we're able to kind of capture those. We were able to begin to see that some customers may be paying their bill online through the automated system every month, but then they would call the billing team 3 or 4 times right around that same time. So begin to be able to put in responses and processes and let account managers know what was happening and that our customers were reaching out to look for more support. We found that 80% of those calls coming into the 800 number wanted to be heard, didn't feel satisfied until they just really wanted to talk to someone. Their service wasn't down. There wasn't an outage. It wasn't a major milestone. Capturing that, making sure that the rest of the team was aware of it, and that was that big thumbs up. We got feedback from our customers that when they did call in and the person they were talking to in the call center knew that they had come in and talked to an executive, they were impressed. When the account team called them back 2 or 3 weeks later just to check up on their conversation, they were happy. So we were getting a nice impact and emotional connection with those just by kind of taking that randomness and making it transparent to the whole company. We wanted a little more, though. That was a first step we knew we had to capture. And as I said, that's not the same in all companies. For ours, because we've gone through some mergers and acquisitions, we've got a couple different systems we were struggling with and inbound points. We have 4 offices in North America that someone may call into. One of the advantages as a network service provider we all kind of got together, we sat down in a room and said, how do we know more? Now that we've got the big milestones, we've got these random moments from our customers, how do we learn more? And we had an advantage. We have a unique piece, which is the actual network that the customer uses. We can take a look at it. We've got an umbilical cord to that customer. There are amazing things that are going on at the network side in terms of tracking utilization and performance and grooming that network that are guarded by the network operations team. There's also some great things that are going on in technology and innovation in new companies at the application point to look at congestion points. So we decided to start at the actual network point. And we took out something a little usual. Now, we knew from an outage and from a performance standpoint, from the failover on a backup circuit, that was all being tracked through our network services. We were getting notified of those scenarios. So we thought of, what do we call the mood? What is this mood of the network that we want to personify? And we decided to define it as our first time out as the average percentage of utilization. Customers going along. They're using 50% of their bandwidth. 50% of their bandwidth, 50% of their bandwidth, 80% of their bandwidth. Something's going on here. 85, 80, 80. We created an outbound action for the account team to reach out to our customer, this business customer, and talk to them about their business. Is your business growing? Do you have new employees? Have you gotten a super cool new collaboration app that allows you to work between your businesses? Are you doing streaming education and video? Have you bought something amazing that's going to make you successful? Great. Let's make sure you have the network to support it. We found that 55% of our outages, ticket outages, actually had some sort of utilization change that happened in advance that could have forewarned. Of the customers we reached out to, 28% so far in this little process, which we've only been doing now for about 3 or 4 months, we've been actually able to change their service to meet the change in their business to keep them successful. They're successful, we're successful, the applications that are run over that system is successful. It's an overall view and look, and it's something we've really seen is how we take the mood of the network, apply it to those major milestones that interact, and then also grasp and find those little points that the customer reaches out to us, either happy, sad, just needing to be listened to, and put them all in a single pane of glass that we can look at. We don't have a unique customer service organization. It's run between marketing, sales, and our network operations team. By putting all this information in one location where we can view and continuously keep looking for trends and view and create automated actions out to our account teams, automated actions and campaigns to push out, we've really been able to expand that view of the customer by leveraging that one thing, that thing that may be unique in each one of your business, that you can go that much further and predict and understand when that customer is happy or when they're about not to be happy. And that's the emotional connection and the experience that at Global Capacity we look for, and we've been able to do with a customer success platform to really change how we're delivering telecom services to our customers.